even before Mikko. Like, we had a couple huge blocks from Val going out to the point, and then Lehkonen on the shift before Mikko got out there, or I think Mikko was out there actually. He gets 2 huge blocks from on their point man, eating pucks from down low in an uncomfortable situation. Mikko, great second effort to get a couple clears, and then makes a great read on the one he picks off for the empty net. Just committed to try to get the job done, and some real good defensive hockey there, trying to get through that situation.
Stay front left.
Coach, just first, do you have an update on Nazem Kadri, and then what did you think of the hit?
Yeah, he's out. He'll be out for the series at least, if not longer. I mean, the hit, it's the most dangerous play in hockey. I mean, it puts him in head first from behind, 8 feet off the boards. I'll leave it at that.
Second row, Eric.
Jared, could you talk about JT Comper's game?
Not just scoring that big goal, but like you said, with Kadri out, he's likely going to have to take a bigger role.
Yeah, I mean, you lose a guy of Naz's stature and the role that he plays, someone has to step up, if not multiple guys. And I thought, JT, he's been playing some really good hockey lately, finding a way to get in the score sheet. I thought he did a nice job defensively. Obviously, a huge goal. A second effort on that play to win the battle and then take it to the net and still be able to put it behind Smith. I thought, huge play at a very key time in the game.
Right before Comfort's goal, Frankie makes a big save on McDavid on the power play. Your thoughts about that, and also if you could touch on the 6-0 now and on the road in the postseason.
Yeah, so first of all, I thought Frankie was outstanding. The one that you don't want to see go in would be the tying goal, right, from distance off the rush. But he more than made up for that at points during the game at key times to keep us playing with the lead. First period they played and came real hard at us 5-on-5, and we were able to kind of weather that storm, and a large part of that is Frankie. He battles in there, and he got us the win. Our team's confident on the road and home. Doesn't matter. We try to preach, it's regardless of the venue that we're playing in and what kind of environment we're playing in, it's still the same details and that we need. You got to be a little bit better on the road, obviously, because they're going to get some juice from the home crowd. We saw that in the first period tonight, but we were able to kind of get through that and continue to push. And I liked our last 40 minutes and even some of the things we did in the first period. So good on our guys for kind of playing to our identity and continuing to do the right things and stay committed for 200 feet in order to get the job done.
Jared, how does Valeri Nichushkin found the best version of himself, and especially in all 3 zones, not just the offense today, but what he's able to do all around the ice for you?
It's a long list of things for me. Like I talked this morning to probably a different group of reporters that, he's such a good all-around player with and without the puck that it's hard to describe what he brings. His ability to check pucks back, whether it's forecheck, reloads, big, long, strong, and fast. It's hard to play against when you're committed and the way Val is. And then he has the ability to play with high-end talent and make plays and finish things off. He goes to the hard areas. He's just a lot to handle. A guy his size and strength and ability. You can see why he was drafted as high as he was. And we brought him in, and his confidence was down, and it's built up over the years. And he's just such a huge part of our team. And I know that the things that he does don't go unnoticed in our locker room and with all the other guys. They know how big of a part of a team that he is, and the role he can play in our success.
You talked about Frankie earlier. He gives up the goal early, doesn't get rattled. Is that just a guy playing with a ton of composure right now?
Yeah. That's kind of who Frankie is. I touched on this the other day as well. He's just a guy that's real even keel, very humble, quiet competitor. It's just going to, look past any success or any failures that he has and keep trying to be the best he can be. I love that demeanor about him, especially in the role that he's in as a backup. And he gets thrown into the limelight here with the injury to Kemp's, and he just kind of keeps being himself. And I think that's what our guys love and respect about him.
Jared, you talked about Naz earlier, and it's hard to replace a guy that's skillful, but you've also talked this year a lot about the depth, and that's maybe going to be the difference, towards winning a cup. How confident are you in guys stepping up if he's not able to come back, and not just JT? I know you mentioned him, but other guys.
Yeah, like I said, it's going to have his role will be filled by committee. I mean, that's how big of a player he is for us. It's could be one guy one night and a different guy the next. I'm comfortable with it. Obviously, it's a huge loss, but it's out of our control, is what it is. So we got to move on and next man up mentality, and we've been doing that all year with some of our injuries to our key guys and key guys missing time, and but the depth that we've Joe acquired at the deadline is certainly going to be a huge piece. It was nice to have Sturmey in the lineup tonight with that injury coming. It was have another centerman in there that can fill some minutes and do a nice job on the defensive side of things. So we'll have to rethink things, see where our health is at with all of our guys, and then pick a lineup that we think can get the job done here against the Oilers in Game 4.
Last two for Coach Peter.
Yeah, Jared, what maybe wasn't going well at 5-on-5 in the first period? I think you only had one shot, and then how did that kind of shift as the game went on?
Well, they played hard. I mean, so did we, but we didn't come up with enough loose pucks, I think. We talk all the time about winning races and winning battles, and sometimes that's not from lack of effort, but just positioning and finding room to maneuver through the neutral zone so you can get onto pucks in the offensive zone if you have to chip them. Sometimes it's just making sure your second man's there quick enough and outnumbering them in battles or races. But give the Oilers credit. I mean, they had a really good first period, and they were going to be on a push. You kind of knew that coming in here. They weren't going to roll over. But we started to find it as the game went on and started to get into the interior of the ice for some scoring chances and make it more difficult on them. And, I guess that resilience just paid off for us tonight.
Last question is back on the left.
Can you just talk about, being your memories from 2020, being in Edmonton and then being here obviously again now?
Yeah, different environment is the biggest one. A lot of similarities, hotel to the rink. Felt like we spent 6 months here during that time. Wish it was a little bit longer. But yeah, it's just such a different time now. Everyone's back in the building. You see the passion that Edmonton has for the team, and rightly so. I think it's just a lot more fun this time around when you can come and the fans are part of it. I mean, they are what makes the game for players, coaches. It's there's obviously the competitor in us that wants to be competing and close to the action, but it's so much better when fans are involved, and it doesn't matter what city you go to, and none better than in Western Canada.